In today's coaching corner, we're going to learn how the subtle art of not giving a fuck has led you astray. This is a very important lesson, not only with my client Steve from today's coaching call, but also that I see in so many men. Today, we're going to address how you can actually explore where you give your fucks, what to do about it, what it means, and how you can make a crucial distinction to fundamentally change the course of your life. But first, hey legend, I'm Mike Campbell. I am the anti-nice guy men's coach. I help nice guys in building self-worth, self-respect, and a solid sense of security so that you can get more from life, love, and every day, and actually like yourself and actually love your life and stop giving so much energy to what other people think of you and people pleasing and worrying and all that conditional niceness, because that's a little bit of the theme of today's lesson. And it was on my coaching call today with Steve. So how this is showing up for Steve. He's a brand new client, and we were talking about how he realized he's so driven, and he has been so driven in his life by wanting to seek praise and approval and validation from others. He wants to perform and succeed and achieve because then others will see him as a success, someone of worth, etc. And he identifies that. He can see it. He can see how he does it. This is often what happens. I can see it, but I don't yet know how to change it, into frustration that often comes with a bit of awareness. And so what he wants to really do is take that, what is really seeking worth external to him, both in achievements and accolades and positions and approval and validation and praise, and internalize it. So he has a strong, solid sense of self-worth. Now, the challenge here is this. For so many guys, especially nice guys, we have this black or white thinking. For example, nice guys will often think that if I'm not nice, that means I have to be an asshole. And that is binary thinking, but it is the other end of the spectrum. It's nowhere near that. But that's often what happens. Nice, 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 pushover, 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 no boundaries, no boundaries, no boundaries, snap, asshole. Really, really ineffective way of going about it. If you want to know the truth, it's about having self-respect, having healthy boundaries, communicating with kindness, with compassion, but also with strength, honesty, and respect. The same thing comes in here when we are so obsessed, often so in our heads about the opinions of others, about the praise, approval, validation of others, about what others think of us, the fear of judgment, the fear of rejection from others, that it runs so much of our life. We spend so much time up in here ruminating, overthinking. It's exhausting. We're giving way too many fucks to what other people think. And so the idea, the subtle art of not giving a fuck, it is the subtle art. And I know the bigger lesson really that Mark Manson is talking about is not this kind of cool idea that we often have, hashtag zero fucks given. The answer to I give all my fucks is not to give zero fucks. Going from giving all of your energy to what people think of you to I don't care at all what anyone thinks of me is slipping into kind of sociopathic territory, apathy, indifference. I don't care at all what people think. You're going to miss some very, very important social cues, some very, very important feedback about you, your behaviors, about who you are, about if people want to be in a relationship with you. Because if you are entering into a relationship with someone, or you're in a relationship with someone, you're like, I don't care what you think. That relationship isn't going to last very well. So the work is to find the nuanced area. Whose opinion matters, when, why, and how. That's a very important piece of the puzzle. And that's what we were talking about on our call today with Steve. Is that the risk for so many men is I'm going to fluctuate down there and pendulum. It's very normal to pendulum on some level, as long as that is the process of finding the middle again. But one of the common patterns for so many nice guys is this pattern of being very, very hard on themselves. And I say themselves, but I can also say ourselves because I am a reformed nice guy. So I know this so well. Very hard on myself. Pattern of thinking I should be capable of this, I should be better, and but I never reach it because it's above what is my realistic for me, and so I just never meet those expectations. But then I should be better, and I need to be better because then that's what will mean I have worth and value. And so we just get into the cycle of never really meeting expectations, being disappointed in self, and continuing to set the bar high and never meeting it. Beat ourselves up, very hard on ourselves. Internal talk and narrative and dialogue is very, very negative, very, very critical. We're trying to stifle that. A very exhausting pattern. The work, as I suggested for Steve, as it very well might likely be for you, as it is for so many men, is to develop grace for yourself. Not beating yourself up all the time and then not going to the pendulum at the other end of the spectrum, which a lot of nice guys feel, which is, so then I'm going to be so easy on myself that I let myself away with it, that I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to have any drive. I'm not going to have any application. And that's the other end of the spectrum. Grace is about being kind to yourself. Grace is about having self-respect. And so the suggestion for me with Steve in this session was, Be wary as you enter into the world of externalizing your worth to internalizing it, that you don't fall into the place of giving zero fucks to what people think, to rejecting the praise and approval and validation and feedback, etc., from others. We're human. Those things are so central to our belonging. They tell me that how I am being is valued and appreciated. And as human, as men, we absolutely thrive on appreciation. That's validation. That's feedback from others. But what we want to shift from is I need that to feel okay and safe for myself versus I form a foundation of that myself. I build and am I build self-worth and I know I am worthy of love and belonging and joy. And it's really nice when others add to it. It's a very, very key shift. And so what we're talking about, the term that I use and that we use in the Everyday Legends Academy, is fuck discernment. Your task, gentlemen, is to go away and discern when you give a fuck, with whom and why. That there is something that every man can take on and find his place. Because in one moment, most of the time, my wife's opinion matters to me. And in one moment, it won't. Because she got some of her shit going on there. It's absolutely nothing to do with me, for example. And if I give this all the weight in the world, I gave fucks where it wasn't due, where perhaps what it needed was a different conversation, a different approach, whatever it might be. Or letting that over my head because she was, projecting and outwardly reacting from a place of being triggered and angry and insecure and whatever it might be. And here I am making it about me and taking it all personally. It wasn't about me. It was all, it was just a bunch of her shit. Gentlemen, have grace with yourself. Instead of being hard on yourself, be kind to yourself. Work on discerning your fucks as opposed to giving fucks to everyone, right? And remember that when you are moving from the position of giving so much attention and energy to what other people think of you and getting any sense of validation and worth from your achievements, from your accolades, from how hard you work, from the praise and approval and validation from others, and you're moving into internal sense of worth. Those things can still play a part, but the shift is from everything and nothing. It is not the other way. It is, I build the foundation myself. I know that I am worthy of love and belonging, and others can add to it. Now, as a quick little guide, because this will be a video for another time. The other thing for Steve was that I build self-worth by doing hard things. And while there's truth in that, there's also nuance. Because if that becomes the truth, it means that if I'm not doing hard work, I have no worth. And that is also a very dangerous slippery slope to get into, because that means you'll never allow yourself to relax, to enjoy your life, because you have to be working hard to have worth. So can that statement be true? Self-worth comes as I do hard shit, and I'm worthy just as I am as well. That's the thought I'm going to leave you with. Comment below and let me know how this is landing for you, what's popped up for you, any questions that you've got. Remember, click like, subscribe if you want to see more of these, ring the little bell if you want to get notified every time we post a new video. That has been today's Coaching Corner. I'm Mark Campbell. See you soon.